We start with a narrator having watched too much Ancient Aliens recently and waffling on about ETs, and how a race called Iridians once ruled the galaxy. And after disappearing eons ago, they left behind scraps of tech in a secret hidden vault on the trash planet of Pandora. And now greedy commercial capitalists and also scumbag criminals fight and kill each other trying to find the vault of extraterrestrial goodies, despite a mythological prophecy specifically stating that only the daughter of Iridia can open the damn thing.
Okay.
Anyway, now in current day, a small chocolatey chap called Roland rescues a highly annoying girl called Tina from a high security satellite station, giving her a rich and powerful dad called Atlas wants her back and shit. But after running into a bit of bother up there, a giant mad lad who speaks only low IQ grunts totally breaks out to save their asses before promptly joining their team. As light years away over on Promethea, moody ginger and badass bounty hunter Lilith is also tasked with retrieving the girl by rich dad Atlas, given the last guy he sent to save her has now run off with the kid and totally gone AWOL.
No!
So, after being paid a shed load of spondoolies to reluctantly return to what turns out to be her home planet, what she ain't been back to in years, for given it's a total shithole and filthier than current day San Francisco, she sets off to look for that ethnic kind of sort of kidnapper who trafficked a minor across state lines and also the fucking galaxy for shits and giggles, before bumping into another highly annoying tiny creature called Claptrap, an indestructible robot who was programmed by a mysterious person 36 years ago to specifically assist this ginger in her quest because reasons. And much like Dobby in Harry Potter, he's essentially enslaved to her till her death and stuff.
Nice.
Naturally, she don't want to hang about with no stinking motorised midget with the voice of Jack Black and his tiresome comedy style to boot. But given he can track her target through the Echo Net, she reluctantly lets him tag along. Later, they find that Atlas's paramilitary unit called the Crimson Lance have also landed to find the girl. So they speed off to her last known location to beat him to it, and soon finds her hiding out in a stack of busted up truck heaps, all whilst dressed as some sort of bunny for some reason. But turns out she don't want to go back to her dad, who keeps kiddies locked up in cells on high orbit satellite stations because reasons, so soon blows her to Kingdom Come, and then sets her personal lapdog and monosyllabic brother goon on her ass. And before you can say, I hope everyone kills everyone in this fucking scene so this shit can just be over already, the Crimson Lance finds him and demands that she comes back home already. So also naturally, she blows her to Kingdom Come and all, before Roland turns up in some sort of souped up Cybertruck and gets in the heck out of Dodge. After taking a moment to recuperate and totally get to know each other, the chocolate fella reveals that he was actually a cucked soldier in the Crimson Lance, who just felt bad for an obnoxious egotistical child one day and so proceeded to betray his oath to go save her. Well, also because Atlas created said obnoxious child in a lab in order to open a secret vault full of insane technology and weapons, given he's trying to manually fulfill the Daughter of Iridian prophecy himself. And Roland don't really want his psycho ex-boss to get his hands on potential doomsday weapons what could enslave the galaxy and shit. And before you can say, so it's yet another bloody escort mission film featuring a special girl who's the key to everything then? Because it didn't really work out well the last time Ariana Greenblatt played the same kind of tropey role in Adam Driver's 65 film, which bombed worse than a jihadi at a music concert.
God damn.
But anyway, they decide to team up and go find the vault expert and science lady who helped him break her out in the first place. Because apparently, they've got to find 2 more keys out of 3 before they can open said vault, and that's if they can even find the blasted thing. Once in Sanctuary City, Roland finds that he has a massive bounty on his head, which almost gets collected by his old Asian roommate or some shit. But is saved in the nick of time by some sort of madam bird called Moxie, who tells Lilith that she used to know her mum back in the day and that she always said that her little girl was special. And before she can say, well, she better not have meant special needs, they head upstairs to see the scientist lady, who turns out to be yet another familiar face. And no, I don't mean because she's played by Jamie Lee Curtis, who straight up won an Oscar last year and is now somehow reduced to slamming it in this trash for some reason. But because this Tannis woman used to be Lilith's foster mum after her own proper mum dumped her and then got dumped again by Tannis, who gave her to working class psychos on a mining ship in order to focus on finding the vault what she devoted her whole life to. Or some shit. Anyway, after Tina reveals more about her backstory, including how she's a clone made in a lab from traces of alien DNA left behind on the first vault key, and thus a bona fide literal test tube baby and alien hybrid, The Crimson Lackey spot toxic incel Claptrap, misogynistically chatting up a vending machine and then responding to rejection by straight up insulting the poor broad.
Hey there, sugar chips. You need a firmware update?
It's short stuff.
Someone needs an oil change.
Hate crime!
And just after Tannis reveals the location of the second key from an old mining journal, they sneak past the military goons whilst hiding out in garbage cans, before heading down into the caustic caverns to go retrieve the second key. Well, I say heading down, poor Claptrap just gets his ass kicked down. And before he can say, "But lives matter, bro," they sneak through the tunnels of toxic sludge and trying to avoid the local psychos. So naturally, they soon send in their poor pet Sap to create a diversion, mainly by getting himself shot up worse than 50 Cent after bailing out of a Diddy party early. And after they sneak upstairs, Lilith is mysteriously drawn straight to the second key by a bloody good stroke of luck. And totally not because she's probably the real daughter of Iridian like the prophecy foretold, given this movie's lazier than a bloody Sharknado sequel. Anyway, the raiders soon overhear poor Claptrap shitting out all the lead bullets he was capped with back there, and are soon all over him like a tramp on chips. And after being backed into a seemingly dead-end tunnel with just a broken down service elevator at the end of it, Roland does one of them self-sacrifice things to manually fix it whilst buying them time, before taking on an entire mob of the fuckers like an utter G. Whilst up above, the others are shooting up the shaft faster than sperm from a super frustrated, unwanked ball bag. And it looks like it's curtains for the group of dysfunctional, unlikely mates with zero redeeming or likeable character traits. But luckily, Tina magically accesses her innate special abilities and teleports them away just in the nick of time, and then wonders if poor Roland will be okay down there fighting off endless waves of goons in a tight tunnel. And before you can say, "Oh, why don't you pull your fucking finger out and teleport him up here too?" we cut to a few hours later, as Tannis has now combined the two keys and found the location of the long-lost vault, and also handily realises that Tina herself is the third key, now she can do all that superpowered stuff and stuff. Also later, Atlas sends over a hologram drone to tell Lilith that he's been tracking him the whole bloody time, and totally wants his clone back already. 'Cause these bloody things are expensive, bro, and little obnoxious girls don't just grow on trees, you know. They grow in state-of-the-art labs and also in isolated cells of high-security satellite ships.
LOL!
Unfortunately, Tina walks in on her talking to her slave master daddy boss and probably gets the wrong end of the stick. So soon gets back to doing what she does best and blowing her red-headed frenemy to kingdom come. Now left behind in her old hometown and triggered by traumatic flashbacks of the date her mum gave her to Jamie Lee Curtis and is just lucky this nut job didn't trans this kid too.
Bruh.
Claptrap gets triggered himself by such familiar surroundings and soon goes full R2-D2, displaying a hologram of a pretty woman who has an urgent message to impart. And in a shocking twist, what no one could ever see coming. Well, unless you're me, when I literally just guessed it earlier in the video, her mum soon reveals that the movie's protagonist was a prophesied daughter of Iridia all along.
No way!
Yes, bloody way. And after the others arrive at the vault entrance and find out the hard way that poor Tina is just a useless third-rate clone of the real thing and actually not as special as she thinks she is, Atlas and his army of minions arrive and orders them all to be deaded. And it again looks like it's curtains for Budget Bane, the already washed up Oscar winner and this pussy old clone hoe. But luckily, Roland shows up again in the nick of time and starts unleashing lead, whilst Lilith teleports in, having finally embraced her inner Iridian goddess, and opens up the vault, which gives her a much needed power boost to fend off the baddies. Which also explains why this flick is so bad, to be fair. Well, given every time a superpowered redhead gets charged with alien energy from space, it seems to lead to equally piss poor movies.
Damn!
And after a brief battle, which includes the human man hilariously trying to take on a little alien goddess with next level energy powers, Atlas demands to be brought into the vault, or else he's going to totally kill his phony fakey daughter clone, who's now been rendered more pointless than a Democrat primary. And once inside, she lets some sort of alien squid type beastie monster take him down to a watery grave.
That's what you get. That's what you fucking get, bitch.
And we end with the gang all reunited and watching some fireworks, after not one of them had to sacrifice a single bleeding thing and all came out totally unscathed. Because turns out the main female protagonist, who now finally understands why Moxie said her mum kept calling her special that one time, was secretly the stunning and brave super strong boss bitch who was the super special key to everything anyway. Huzzah! And that's it. That's the movie. Though my favourite part was how a movie adaptation of a video game, known for its sheer levels of chaos and balmy fun, and also directed by outrageous horror filmmaker Eli Roth, turned out like a PG-13 version of Mad Max meets Jumanji. Only without the star power of The Rock, and without the young hot redhead Scott in skimpy outfits, and instead just settling for delivering the eye candy of, checks notes, 55-year-old Cate Blanchette. But anyway, that's the plot and that's your lot. Considering that bit all things so you don't miss any future recaps. Tell me if you like this flick in the comments if you have time. And I'll break into high security satellite stations and kidnap miners across state lines and also the fucking galaxy with you in the next one.